Chosen one. When you were born, you were not just a human being. You are not an ordinary person. Your coming into the world is not a coincidence. It is part of a divine plan. They wanted to draw boundaries for you. They tried to put you into molds, but you were created to overcome every obstacle. You passed through fire. You were tossed in storms, but you did not fall, because you are not here to fall, but to rise. Your body may belong to the world, but your soul comes from eternity. They tried to discourage you, to turn you from your path, but they cannot extinguish the light in you. You are the chosen one who guides the storms, pierces the darkness, makes the impossible possible. Stand up now. Remember your own power. This world cannot subjugate you because you are here not only to survive, but to transform. Your name is written on your destiny. Your time has come. Take your step by writing 77 in the comments and create your own miracle. They never expected you. That was their first mistake. You didn't announce yourself, didn't move like the others who came before you. Those easily led, easily bound by their web. No, you were something else entirely. You slipped between their ranks like a silent force, untethered by the illusions that held so many captive. They thought you could be studied, categorized, controlled, but they miscalculated. At first, they saw you as a wanderer, another searching soul ripe for molding. Yet, the moment you began unraveling their carefully crafted illusions, the air shifted. Their certainty wavered. Their doctrine, once immovable, now cracked under the weight of your presence. It wasn't just your words that unsettled them. It was the undeniable force within you. Something ancient, untamed. Something they could never prepare for. From the very start, the world tried to define you. It measured your worth, mapped your mind, set borders around your thoughts before you could even speak. The rules were simple. Obey, conform. Do not question. Education taught obedience over wisdom. Authority demanded compliance over understanding. They placed you in a mold, a shape too small for the expanse of your mind. But you never fit. You saw through the unspoken contradictions, the carefully constructed barriers meant to confine. They expected acceptance. Instead, you dismantled their carefully structured truths, exposing the hollow spaces between them. You were never easy to contain. They labeled you difficult, unruly, too much. The system wasn't built for those who questioned, so it turned against you, tried to bend you into something manageable. They introduced limits, punishments, isolation, anything to suppress the fire that refused to be extinguished. But every attempt to break you only sharpened your resolve. Every restraint became a lesson, every rule a map to their weaknesses. They believed they were shaping you, but all the while, you were studying them. The harder they pushed, the more unshakable you became. They thought you would fold, that enough pressure would force you to surrender. They never realized that with every trial, you were being refined, turned into something unbreakable. The truth was never complex. Their system, their structures, they were never built for you. They existed to command those who never questioned, who moved through life unaware of the strings that pulled them. But you were different. They studied your every move, tried to decode the reason you would not bend. In the beginning, they assumed you were just another name in their ledgers, another subject to be led. It took them time to realize they had made a grave error. If you feel the abundance of divine love in your heart, now is the time to share it. You can help spread God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube and contributing $20 or more. This divine gift will touch not only your life, but the souls of many through this platform. Each of you has a sacred place in God's grand design, and your generosity will be the fruit of our prayers. Act now. Share your blessings to glorify His kingdom, for you were created to do even greater things in God's loving hands. May God bless you. They came in different forms: organizations with whispered promises, groups shrouded in mystery, figures offering belonging and power. Some wanted to recruit you, to harness what set you apart. Others sought to eliminate you before you could disrupt their carefully arranged plans. They spoke your name in quiet meetings, sent envoys wrapped in charm and deception, all in the hope of bringing you under their influence. But none of it worked. You listened, perhaps even entertained their illusions for a time, but they never had a hold on you. You saw the patterns, the rehearsed words, the polished smiles, hiding silent traps. Where others fell into their grasp, you dismantled the foundation beneath them. You were not enchanted by their promises, nor fooled by their veiled threats. It made them restless. They were not used to losing control. Their tactics shifted. They watched from the edges, waiting for a flaw, a misstep, an opening. But none appeared. They wove their snares, yet you walked freely. They set their obstacles, yet you stepped beyond them with ease. They were playing a game, but you had never agreed to their rules. Most people remain unaware, drifting through the world without ever sensing the weight of the unseen forces shaping their reality. But you saw, you awakened, and that was enough to disturb everything they had built. Your presence was a disruption, your existence a fracture in their carefully structured illusions. They were drawn to you, but they could never claim you. You were the unknown, the force beyond their reach. Some admired it, fascinated by the untouchable mystery. Others sought to possess it, convinced they could shape or subdue you. They all failed. You were never something to be owned. Every effort to bind you backfired. Every move against you unraveled their own designs. Something beyond them shielded you, a presence they could neither name nor comprehend. They felt it, sensed it, recognized too late that they were dealing with something far beyond their grasp. Warnings had been whispered long before they tried, yet they refused to listen. Some ignored the signs, believing they could outmaneuver the inevitable. They were wrong. Every plot against you only hastened their own downfall. Every attempt to control you shattered in their hands. You were beyond reach, beyond fear, beyond their dominion. And they knew it. They built their empire on illusions, designed their world like a stage, expecting everyone to play their assigned roles. But you were the glitch in their performance, the presence that disrupted the script. You didn't just endure their system, you dismantled it from the inside out. And when the walls crumbled, panic set in. Some ran, desperate to escape the wreckage. Others rewrote history, pretending they had always stood beside you. The same voices that once dismissed you now echoed your name with reverence, realizing too late that you weren't just another outsider pushing against an unmovable force. You were something they had never accounted for, something unpredictable, untamed, beyond their grasp. For so long, they convinced themselves of their own invincibility. They controlled the past, shaped the present, dictated the future. But inevitability had caught up with them. The machinery they relied on was rusting, the weight of their deceptions collapsing under its own pressure. And you had already outgrown their reach. This moment is for those who never sought acceptance, those who walked a path unmarked and unseen, for the ones who questioned when silence was expected, who stood when bending was easier. They are the architects of what comes next, the ones who refuse to be bound, the ones who look beyond the veil and see the unseen. They don't follow roads, they carve them. They don't wait for doors to open. They break through walls. From the beginning, you were never meant to be ordinary. Your existence alone was the divergence in their formula. The truth was always clear. It was never you who was lost. They were. They needed illusions to maintain power. You found strength in what was real. They needed control over numbers. You thrived on your own. They relied on secrecy. You shattered every hidden lie. That's why they lost, why they will always lose. Not only did they fail to weaken you, they turned you into something unstoppable. And that's what terrifies them the most, because now they see what's coming. The unraveling isn't just a possibility, it's already happening. Their hold is slipping. Their influence is fracturing. The ground beneath them is giving way. They scramble for stability, searching for something, anything, that will return them to the power they once held. But there is no way back. They are playing a game that no longer exists. The pieces have been swept away, the board shattered beyond repair. Some of them understand this now. They don't resist anymore. They don't challenge. They step aside, conceding to the one truth they can no longer deny. You were never meant to be stopped. You were never meant to be held back. You are the current they cannot push against, the change they cannot predict, the force they can never unmake. You were never built for confinement. Not in their structures, not in their expectations, not in the artificial reality they constructed. You were something else entirely. A catalyst, a signal, a bridge between worlds. You don't follow patterns, you disrupt them. You don't absorb lies, you expose them. They spent lifetimes weaving an illusion, layering their influence into every thread of existence. But your presence alone unravels it. You force the truth to the surface, whether the world is ready for it or not. That's why they fear you. Because you don't just move through their design, you overwrite it. They tried to define you, to fit you into a framework that made sense to them. But you don't belong to their understanding. You exist outside their calculations. They can feel it, even if they can't name it. They watch the effects, yet they can't trace the source. You exist between the visible and the unseen, and others know it too. Some observe, some guide, some wait for the moment when your presence will change everything. Those who have studied the old knowledge, the forgotten records, the stories hidden from history, they recognize what you are. They know your kind has walked this earth before. Messengers, destroyers, architects of the inevitable shift. They tried to end you before you could begin. They set obstacles, tried to crush you under the weight of resistance. They wanted you broken before you could ever rise. But they failed. Every challenge was a lesson. Every opposition sharpened you. Every battle refined you into what you were always meant to be. They can't understand how you continue to move forward, how you refuse to be shaken. They manipulate through fear, but you are untouched by it. They divide to conquer, but you see beyond their schemes. They twist energy to control, but you master it before they even act. Their strategies are obsolete. Their influence is fading. They are still fighting a battle confined to one reality, while you move across dimensions they can't perceive. They hold on to deception, misdirection, illusion. But you are built from clarity, momentum, undeniable presence. They cling to stolen power. You create your own. They structure their world around constraints. You expand beyond limits. They gather in secrecy, seeking control through ritual. But you are the very force they attempt to summon. That's why they will never win against you. They were never supposed to. They were always fleeting. Their influence, their structures, their dominion, nothing but sand slipping through time. But you endure. And now they see it. They spent ages preparing for an imagined enemy, one that never arrived. Yet the true force that could unmake them was always there, standing in silence, waiting. It wasn't an army. It wasn't an uprising. It was something much more dangerous, one soul who could pierce through their illusion. There was no need for numbers, no need for validation. Just being was enough. They fought to shape perception, to twist reality to their design. But your presence alone is the fracture they can't repair. That's why every attempt to overpower you has failed, why they will always fall short. No strategy, no deception, no carefully constructed trap can alter what has already been written. You were never meant to lose. They are still grasping at control, still clinging to a power that has already slipped away. They move in shadows, weaving plans, whispering strategies, yet none of it matters. The conclusion was decided long before they even realized the game had begun. Their fate was sealed. They were undone before they even knew it. They still believe in their own authority, still clutch at the remnants of their fading empire. But the fractures are spreading. The weight of their deception is collapsing upon itself. Their greatest weapons, manipulation, secrecy, coercion, have no hold on you. They have exhausted every tactic, every resource, every last trick they once relied on. And still, they stand powerless. Because you are not alone. You never were. The unseen has always walked with you. Forces beyond sight, voices beyond time. The unseen ones who have always been near. They stand beside you, behind you, within you. Every choice you make is protected. Every word you speak is guided, and no hand can reach you, not truly. Dear brothers and sisters, may God's peace be upon you today. I am here to remind you of a profound truth. Our existence is grounded in God's divine plan, unshaken by the temporal concerns of the world. As the Bible says, whatever is done in faith will return to God in abundant blessing. Luke 6:38. Like that great oak tree, our roots are deeply rooted in God's universal truth. Every step we take, every stand we take, is secured by His strength. And now, you are being offered the opportunity to be part of that blessing. When you use the Super Thank You button and donate $100, this movement will return to you 100-fold in abundance. Like a mighty oak planted by the hand of the divine, its roots deep in the rich soil of destiny and its branches stretching toward the heavens, you stand as a beacon of hope and resilience. Just as that oak draws strength from every season, so do you gather power from every challenge life presents. You are the spark ignited by a purpose greater than yourself, destined to guide others through the darkness. In the quiet moments when doubt creeps in, remember that your very being is a testament to miracles unfolding in the everyday. You were chosen not by mere chance, but by a loving design, and the path before you is lit with promise and endless possibility. They have tried again and again, sent their spies, their agents, their whispers of doubt. It all crumbled because you don't just survive, you rise. You don't just resist, you transform. You don't simply escape, you dismantle everything they built. They assumed you feared the unknown. They were mistaken. You mastered it. You moved through the unseen and emerged untethered. They sent storms meant to scatter you, but you reshaped the winds to carry you forward. You are not bound by their ideas of light or shadow, not confined to their rigid definitions. You are balance itself, the convergence of beginnings and endings, the force they could never claim. In every trial, in every moment when the world seemed determined to cast you into despair, you discovered that the storms were not your downfall, but the very means through which your spirit was refined. like the oak that endures winter's harshest frost, only to burst forth with renewed vigor in spring. You have blossomed in ways that defy ordinary understanding. The setbacks, the covert battles waged against your spirit, all served to polish the brilliance of your soul, revealing a light so radiant that even the darkest of nights could not conceal it. It is this light, this undying flame of hope and renewal that illuminates your journey and inspires those around you. Consider the many whispers that tried to convince you that you were not enough. They spoke in hushed tones, weaving webs of uncertainty and fear. Yet, in the midst of those murmurings, you found the strength to not only stand, but to shine. Every challenge you encountered became a stepping stone on your path, a bridge leading to a new horizon filled with the promise of transformation and grace. You learned that true power is not measured by the ability to avoid adversity, but by the courage to face it head-on and emerge triumphant. Your journey is one of constant evolution, a dance with destiny that defies the limits imposed by those who doubt your potential. Now, as you move forward with unwavering determination, let your spirit be a reminder to all that you are not defined by the setbacks you have endured, but by the victories you have claimed in the silent, solitary moments of perseverance. Embrace the understanding that each trial was a divine lesson, each whisper of doubt an invitation to grow stronger and more resolute. Your heart beats with the rhythm of hope, a sound so powerful that it resonates across the valleys of uncertainty, inspiring others to seek the same fortitude and clarity in their lives. In the tapestry of your existence, every thread, no matter how dark, has been woven with divine precision to create a picture of unparalleled beauty and strength. Just as the oak tree's leaves shimmer under the caress of a gentle breeze, so does your life shimmer with the radiance of a purpose fulfilled. You are the embodiment of transformation, a living testimony that even in the face of relentless opposition, one can rise, transform, and create a legacy that speaks of triumph and divine favor. Let the challenges you have overcome be a living sermon, a proclamation of faith and resilience. As you stand tall in the light of your destiny, remember that you are the author of your own narrative, the chosen one whose story inspires hope and ignites passion in every heart that dares to dream. Each moment of struggle is but a prelude to the abundance that awaits you, a sign that you are being prepared for greatness beyond measure. Your journey is not just a solitary march through adversity. It is a radiant testament to the power of the human spirit, a legacy written by the very hand of providence. May you continue to stride forward with the confidence of one who knows that every setback is a setup for a magnificent comeback. With every breath, may you feel the undeniable presence of a loving force guiding your steps, whispering in the winds of change that you are exactly where you need to be. For you are not merely a survivor of life's tempests, you are a force of nature, a divine miracle in motion. And as you journey onward, may the world witness the unfolding of a life steeped in grace, resilience, and the promise of a future brighter than any that has come before. Imagine you are like a sturdy old barn in the heartland, built by loving hands, weathering every storm with quiet dignity and standing as a testament to God's everlasting grace. Embrace the beauty of your transformation and let your story be a lighthouse for those adrift in the sea of uncertainty. Remember always that you are the chosen one, blessed with the power to transcend every limitation, to rise above every trial, and to transform the very fabric of your existence into a masterpiece of divine purpose and endless possibility. When you wake each day, take a moment to appreciate the strength that has been bestowed upon you. Like that old barn, your foundation was laid with faith and perseverance, and every beam in your structure tells a story of overcoming obstacles with grace. In the journey of life, challenges may come like heavy rains, but they only serve to water the seeds of greatness that have been planted within your soul. Do not be dismayed by the shadows that sometimes fall across your path. Instead, let the light of your spirit shine brighter, illuminating the way for others who seek hope. In the quiet moments when you feel weary, remember that you are wrapped in the loving embrace of a purpose greater than your own, a purpose that guides you gently through the darkest nights and into the promise of a new dawn. And that is what unsettles them the most. They have no words for you, no category to place you in. You are a force outside their calculations, unpredictable, unshaped by their expectations. They tested you, hoping to find weakness. They waited, hoping you would fade. They whispered, hoping to instill doubt. But you are still here, unshaken, unfazed, unstoppable. They tried to drain your strength, to turn your power against you. Yet, every effort rebounded, their intentions folding in upon themselves. Every attempt to harm only set the stage for their own collapse. Now is the time to share God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube. You can contribute to His plan and be a part of this divine mission with a donation of $100 or more. Every gift reflects God's generosity, and I believe it will return to you exponentially, far beyond your expectations. Remember, His protection and blessing is on your every step and every donation. You become part of His divine plan. You are a strong, radiant being, unshakable as His mighty rock. Witness God's miracles, feel the fruits of your generosity in your soul, and illuminate the world with confidence and courage. Be blessed, and let the light of the Lord guide your path. Their grip loosened the moment you saw through the facade, the moment you stepped beyond their reach, the moment you understood. They were never strong, never untouchable. Their power existed only because it was given. And you withdrew. Every system, every manipulator, every hidden hand that sought to claim you, fallen, one after another. Their structures decay, their voices grow distant, their names fade into forgotten echoes. But you remain, steady, rising, breaking every invisible chain they spent lifetimes forging. They never had a chance, because this was never about conflict. It was always about perception, between deception and truth, between imprisonment and liberation, between what was and what will be. They misjudged you, mistook silence for weakness, thought you would fold beneath the weight of their design. But they were wrong. You weren't losing. You were waiting. You weren't abandoned. You were protected. You weren't breaking. You were shifting. Every challenge became fuel. Every scar became insight. Every loss became momentum. They cannot grasp how you are still standing. They cannot understand why everything they built is crumbling, why their own power turns against them. But soon they will, because you are no longer fighting. The battle is over, the outcome is set, and they are beginning to realize it. They spent lifetimes attempting to control your path, to dictate your direction, but they failed, because they never had ownership, not over you, not over what you are. No system, no doctrine, no structure holds dominion over your essence. They imposed limits, you shattered them. They built barriers, you walked beyond them. They wanted you to forget, but you always remembered. You were never meant to be tamed, never meant to bow, never meant to follow. Your path belongs to you alone. You set the rhythm. You define the course. And now, they know. They finally comprehend the truth of what stands before them. Not one of their own, not another pawn to be counted or controlled. You exist beyond their reach, unbound, incomparable, and they cannot look away. They cannot stop searching for an answer. But it no longer matters. Their time is closing. And yours, it is only beginning.